Hello everyone, I'm Dan Elzer, your co-host of Zap-TV. I want to welcome you to this month's show. To get you started, let's explain how things work here, how the system works to be able to communicate with us. First, you have to get your phone out and open up your text app. And in your text app, I want you to put the number that's going to show up here on the lower third, 321-300-7759. That is your communication, if you will, with us here at the Zap-TV show. So you can ask questions, give comments, and just shout outs. Let us know you're out there. If you're there with a group of people, tell us where you are. We'll give you a shout out back. Also, this is being recorded. So at the end of the show, it will be rendered, and within 48 hours, it will be back up on this same site. So if you come to this site, you'll be able to watch the show again or share it with others or at a sales meeting. So feel free to come back and watch it as many times as necessary. So get that into your phone, 321-300-7759. Give us a hello. And without any further delay, I want to welcome the Zap expert and my co-host, Wayne Weaver, to the show.
Thanks, Dan.
Good to see you, my friend. How you doing?
Good.
Now, we had an amazing show last month.
It was fun.
Yeah, we had a good time. If you missed last month's show, it was Mythbusters we did, and got a whole bunch of online, like Facebook posts and stuff, lots of messages because we were in lab coats, and then this guy shows up with a torch and goggles ready to blow stuff up, and we didn't get to blow anything up.
No fire,
but we did have some fun with that.
Yeah.
So, today's show, we're going to jump right in and start with some updates. We'll get into the Zap Update segment. There are some really cool things that have happened, and plus some technology updates. So go ahead and share with everybody.
So first of all, if you have or did know that we were beta testing a new mobile app. So the blue Zap app, for us as agents, there's a new one that was in the works. It was actually released last night, so it is active and able for you to either update. At worst case, delete your old one and just go find the new one. Zap space CRM will find it, but it should update. But if you don't want to wait for it to kind of trigger as an update, you can go you delete it and go look for a new one. So we'll actually get into the mobile app towards the end of the show and show you
Zap on the move.
Take a peek at it and show you some things in there. So, but just want to let you know that app there is the new one out there. So we want to make sure that we have that from this point on. So. Second piece we've been
talking about it long.
Yeah, every time in questions. So the team piece is out. So if you do have a team, the team piece is out both in the beginning of the CRM piece, the website piece. We can get team leads, share team leads. Send a team lead to this person or that person, or take it back, or update them. Just a lot of things that we can do. So there is if you have not, been set up properly in Dash, our back office system, every broker, we all have it. We just need to make sure that the team that's interested in having the team piece in Zap is just marked as a team in Dash, and that'll sort of trigger Zap to say, oh, this person's a team, and then kind of give you those functionality. And then I'm just going to tell you to go to the support button in the lower left-hand corner, and just go to the community or somewhere in that support, and just search team features, team website. There are some awesome videos that have already been created on just how-tos, what you can do, what might be coming. That team will continue to work to make that platform, the team platform, even better. So just know it's in the beginning stages, but it is available and pretty cool from what I see so far. And again, knowing that they're going to keep making it better for us.
Baby steps on it, folks. It's there. Make sure you get to the support tab, watch the videos, learn as much as you can about it, play with it a little bit before you go all in. Therefore, that way you'll have the learning curve. You'll know what you're doing, and we won't run into the challenges where people get upset and things happen. So take your time, learn about it, practice with it, then go full force with it with your team.
Correct. And then another one that I'm going to actually tell you to go to the support for is that if you've ever asked for it, it was actually, Dan and I were talking, it's actually the third most requested update.
That's right.
To this point, and our team at Emeryville grabbed it, knew that a bunch of agents wanted it, and implemented it. So what we can do now is just, we have a search, a shareable search URL. So if I just do any search on my website, I don't care, this zip code, this town, 2 towns, this price range, 3 bedrooms, I can actually, copy that URL and share it. So I can share it with, on Facebook or just with someone, and whenever they click on that, it'll give them whatever's available in that. So I can, the ideal thing is, this is everything that's available under 300,000, under 200,000, whatever price range fits. And then someone can always just kind of click on it and go, oh, there's everything that's available from this point on. So, and of course, the key is that we link it back to us.
And you can kind of show that here in a second too,
Yes.
right? We can show that. You had one more, and then I think you can take us live and show all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
so the other one we have is just some of the tasks. So our dashboard is starting to get a little bit more friendly for us. So I'll actually just go, I'll get live and just show you exactly what I mean with these tasks. So anytime someone's logged into their system, the first thing we see in the dashboard are those tasks. So I'll go live, buddy, and just show them. So, the question we always get is, how do I get those off my screen? So before that, we actually have to realize that these are actual people that are asking questions about houses or want to see a house. So we do need to know that it is valuable data. So, just know that. So what we've done is kind of just made it a little bit easier to remove them once we know we've dealt with it. So if I just, grab Eric, so right here's a request from info from Eric. If I just hit that actions button on the right-hand side, of course I'm going to want to just view it quick, and I'm going to go, oh, that's right, I talked about that property with Eric yesterday, so I'm good with it. I can actually just hit this little complete button, complete request, and when I save that request will go away. So, essentially me telling the system, hey, I dealt with Eric and what he asked on that question, what's the next one I can do? And if I go up to Mickey, and I see Mickey here, and you'll see Mickey has a showing request, which is different than request for info. If I hit the actions button next to any showing request, I can actually do one of 3 things. I can view the details. Obviously, I would want to know what property Mickey wants to see. I could actually schedule the showing, and that'll actually just give me all the information to like here's the listing agent, so I can actually email or call, and then I can sort of time it in my system, but that'll make that step a little easier. And the last one is if I've shown it, if I actually showed that request, I can mark it complete, and then I can actually just leave my property insight. Property insights, which we'll be talking about in a little bit. But it's actually a step closer. Not only am I going to say, hey, that's completed, I can actually just leave the property insight all in one step versus kind of jumping all around to do it. So I just love that.
Show them that support again. Show them where they go to that support tab. And
so the one thing I would do first to start learning about teams and the shareable search URL is if I just scroll to the left-hand side at the bottom under that menu, there's a support button. If I just click that support, this page pops up. And one of the first things, I could do any search I want, and it'll search through the whole help desk pieces. But if I just hit this community right here, so you'll see the community tab. The very first post is the most recent update that happened last night. So if I just click on that, I can scroll down through here and say, there's the app. They're talking about the app. They're talking about the website or the team piece. And you'll see right here, the information that I need to make that shareable search URL happen. So, just know that, this is always where you will find what updates the team did. But just know that'll show the last one that happened last night and give me all that information. So that's just a little bit about the most recent updates. I absolutely love them. I love them because they're agent related.
Yes.
Things agents are asking for, and those are always good. So
cool. Okay. You can come back to us. We got a first question here on the search. I'm going to summarize. It's kind of long. So, what all can you search to send them, and does it stay current when you do the search?
Yeah, so you can search anything. So I could search one zip code 3 zip codes. I could search a school district, just a price range, a map, whatever search I do. I don't care what it is.
Homes between X and Y.
Yep. Price range, bedrooms, baths, whatever. And then, that's whatever that is that's the URL that I can save. And it will be current forever because what it does is actually, I click on it. The key is knowing that it will be linked to me. But when I click on it, it will go to betterhomesandgardenrealestate.com and go, I need an updated search for this zip code, 100 to 200, 3 bedrooms,
Awesome.
Whatever the details are. So great question, and just know that URL. But read that community post because there's just a piece in there that we have to add to make sure that it gets linked out.
A couple shout outs. Carl, Aaron, don't know where you're from. Feel free to tell us where you're shouting out at us from so we can say hi to you. You're welcome, Amy. So, next, our theme for today, for this month's show, is maximizing your online presence. Now, we've talked about this many times in shows. How do we use this digital assistant to make sure that we have maximized its opportunity? So tell me, why is it important and what should we be thinking about today when it comes to maximizing our online presence?
So, the online presence is just, it has to be a no-brainer for us. It's where our consumers are going nowadays. Everyone tells us that, NAR tells us that. So, so we know they're going online to just search, ask, on their own, whatever. So, the fact is that Zap allows us to market ourselves, set ourselves apart online. All of it at no cost, just some time, just things we can do in the platform. And again, every single piece of that is marketing myself, not the company or the brand. Of course, those two follow me, but the fact is that I want to market myself as the agent in the areas I work.
So, as we know, the consumer is online. Amazon, Walmart have made it so simple to do transactions, return things. More and more people, probably daily, are doing transactions online, and we know the consumer, when it comes to real estate, by 90+% starts online.
Yes.
So this is going, if I understand you, this is going to put us, you say marketing us, it's going to put us in front of that consumer so they don't have to go hunt us. And if we're in front of that consumer over and over again, we just raise the opportunity that they'll reach out to us, end up in our Zap, and we'll be able to take care of them and turn a transaction.
Yeah, so it puts us in front of the consumer and sets us apart from every agent in our market.
So to do that, and we've been doing Zaps for a while now, and TVs for a while, and we both travel all over North America working with people, and the number one reason people don't seem to be following through to leverage this system is what?
We're busy.
Too busy, yes. Yeah. And we understand that, folks, and we respect it. We get busy. But I want you to think about this. If we can get proactive for a moment, if we can say, we don't want to wake up every day and be restarting our business. We want to create a sustainable business that's feeding us business, that's taking care of us, instead of us constantly having to go out there and find it or buy it. And that's what Zap will do for you if we follow through on maximizing what it gives us.
Correct.
So what I want to have as a theme from a technique today, Wayne, is block time management. If you took an opportunity, let's say I showed up to you and I go, I want to buy a piece of property and it's going to be $1 million. And I hand you a current sheet from my bank saying, yep, he's got $1 million, set aside an account to make this purchase, he's ready to go. So you know I'm going to do this. And I say, can I have Thursday? I just want your Thursday, I make decisions quick, let's go get this piece of property. And you say yes, and you engage to work with me. If someone called you and said, can I see you on Thursday? I might want to look at a house. Can I see you on Thursday? I might want to talk to you about something. What would you tell them if you were going to be with me for the day doing $1 million transaction? What would you say?
I'm tied up.
I'm busy. I'm
busy.
Sorry, I'll have to talk to you on Friday. See, you would move them to another time frame because that $1 million opportunity is real and live in front of you. Where we break down as real estate agents is that we know we should be doing these things, but we do them reactively instead of proactively. So think of block time management. The same way you would have blocked out Thursday. Heck, your mom could have called you and you would have said, Mom, I can't talk to you. I got $1 million deal. I want you to start blocking time off to accomplish things. An hour here, an hour there, but make it, when you block it off and say, I'm going to optimize my Zap, I'm going to do what I learned at Zap-TV today for 1 hour, Monday morning, I want you to treat it with the same respect that you would someone going to do $1 million deal with you. Because when we make it sacred and we don't let anybody trample on that time, we get things done that help us for the long run instead of always going, I know I need to do it, I know I need to do it. So that's going to be my theme of technique with you today, is one bite at a time, using block management as a technique to make sure we follow through. So let's see what we have.
I love it.
We begin with a day in the life of a Zap agent. That is our first segment that we always have. And this is, how should a agent be utilizing Zap on a daily basis? And we have 3 areas today. And our first one is the SEO playbook. Now again, the SEO playbook we have talked about before in Zap-TV. But share with us, what does it do for them? And then show us where we can find it and how we can use it, okay?
Yeah, so SEO playbook, show you where to find it in just a second, but very simple. You know, and we always talk about this, and every time I say it, I say the same thing. You know, someone a lot smarter than me that knows SEO, search engine optimization, and what the search engines are looking for more than I do, you know, created this SEO playbook for us as agents. You know, and gave us, and it's 25 things that will help set us apart online. So, you know, I mean, just from the first one you do, you know, it will work towards you being, you know, just a totally different agent, ahead of the game, you know, from everybody else in your market. So, of course, be found more often.
So, just so we're, you know, he's the expert at this. SEO, search engine optimization. So what I am doing by following this playbook of 20, I wrote it down, 25 things. If I follow through on those 25 things, where does that put me on a percentage-wise of all agents out there trying to get online presence? Am I in the top 50%, top 25? Where would I be if I did all 25?
Top tier, 100%. I mean, top
5%?
5 or 10%. I mean, just crazy if you did all 25, or if you did, you know, just know if you did 5 of the 25, you're climbing that ladder, and then you did 10, you just continue to climb. So, but it would give you crazy power, sort of in that online world.
Okay.
If you did all 25.
So, how do we find it? How do we work with it?
So I'll go live and just show you. Very simple. If you've ever just logged in, you'll know. So if I just click your name in the upper right-hand corner, and then just click My Website. So in this My Website, you will see that before as I start scrolling down, you will just see, I could scroll down the page, or I could just, you see this SEO playbook. So if I just click on that SEO playbook, it brings me right to the section that talks about the SEO playbook. And you will clearly see that, it says tasks, 0 of 25. So very important to know that this is a checklist. This isn't, so if of course there's one thing. And next to link building, there's a 13. So if I click that 13, there are 13 things here that, basically again, someone that really knows SEO, search engine optimization, is telling us, yeah, do these.
So 13 tasks to be completed to get your part of Zap optimized as best as possible.
Correct. Your online presence will change every single time you check one of them boxes.
Okay, so how do we know what to do?
So, you could initially look at this and go, what? Like, what is that stuff? Why would I do that? I don't get it. I don't, of course we don't. But if I just, I'll just grab Yelp, and I like Yelp, so I'll just say if I hover over, create a Yelp profile for my business, very clearly you'll see on the right-hand side, a little Learn More pops up. So if I click that Learn More, this actually brings me into the support and just walks me through, like, why should I do this? What can I do to help my online presence? And you just see there's a lot of data here. So that's all we're talking about, is just check that out. But very simple, I mean, you don't even have to be like the tech person. If I just said, you know what, this morning I am going to create that Yelp profile. Very simple. First of all, just know that if I check that box, that did not create my Yelp profile.
So it's not an automated thing.
Not an automated, so just so we know. But very simple, I just need to go to Yelp.com, and this is just the example I'm using, and in the upper right-hand corner, I am going to sign up. And if I click that, very simple, I am just going to create a profile as well as I can. I'm going to actually, sign up here, but then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add my picture. I'm going to add my website URL. I'm going to make that profile just as populated as I can, and then I'm going to go, I'm done. I just created a Yelp profile. I very simple just come back here, and that is one that I can check off. And that's where we're just constantly going down that list. And tomorrow, next week, I do Yellow Pages, YP.com. I come back, I check that one off. And it's every time I make that check that I am, that I just go in a different tier than any other agent in the market.
Okay, so one knockdown, you go to the next one. Going back to that block time management.
Yep.
If I took a block, well, let me ask this. Let's say I want to fill it out right, because I want you guys to think about when you have seen a profile online and there's no picture and there's just a little bit of information. You don't have credibility in that person. You don't think that they're serious, that they're full-time, that they're really doing what that profile is about. So if you do this, you have to go all the way. You got to have the picture, you got to have your URL of your website, you've got to have your name, address, information that it requires, so it populates, looks professional, and it's ready to go.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes,
and that's going to
absolutely.
add credibility to you.
Absolutely.
So if I did it right, if I sat down, when we closed the show, if I went in my office and said, I'm going to do Yelp, how long? Give me a time frame. How long could I carve out to know that I would have the time to think, maybe read some things, get through, and get it done?
I mean, it should be a half an hour-ish.
So 30, 40 minutes?
I may have to go find my picture. I may have to, I need to grab my website URL, But the fact is that, we create a profile. If I go buy a pair of shoes today, and I'm like creating a new account, first name, last name, I don't have to upload a picture of my website, but the fact, that's all we're doing, so it's not a techie thing, it's more of a, time management, this is worth my time task.
So if I go by the block time management technique I'm talking about, and I said there's 25 things, right? I wrote them down, 25. So if those 25 things are going to put me in the top 10% of agents when it comes to online presence, if I took an hour on Mondays, 8 to 9, for the next 25 weeks, before we get halfway through this year, I would have every one of those knocked out, correct?
Correct.
One bite at a time, one little piece. We got a question. I was going to ask this. You said Yelp. Why did you choose Yelp?
So, again, just know that this list was put together not haphazardly.
Right.
The team didn't sit together and go, yeah, Yelp's a good one, let's add that. Or, these are the highest probability sites that folks are asking about real estate. Just in general, ask about a house. Like, these are where real estate questions and comments are coming from these sites.
Do you know the kind of penetration Yelp gets when it comes to people talking about real estate?
So just Yelp, for instance, and again, all of these, have numbers behind them, but just Yelp, for instance, about 5.3 million people a month. Not a year, a month. 5.3 million people a month go to Yelp and do some sort of real estate question, comment, how much is that house?
If access to 5.1 million people asking questions about real estate isn't worth an hour carved out sacred of your time once a week for 25 weeks, then there's a problem. I mean, that is the power of this that we find all over North America. People are not leveraging it.
Correct.
They're using the CRM a little bit, they're doing some follow-ups, but they're not leveraging its opportunity to bring us business.
Correct. Facebook, 2 billion people on Facebook a day.
I bet you there's more than 5 million people talking about real estate.
Yep. You may have a profile, but is it filled out properly? So that might be just going back into Facebook and going, what does my profile look like? Should I, what can I add to it to make sure that it's the most attractive to not only the consumer, but every time I do one of these, Google knows, the search engines know it as well. And that just is a big thing they call backlinking. So, your website's going, gaining strength, and you're gaining strength. And
just like when you're
that's how it's
searching for
happening.
shoes, Cole Haan comes up for me because I've talked to Cole Haan before. You'll start coming up in front of people when they talk real estate.
Correct.
Okay, the second one we want to take a look at is property insights. Now, I know you are a passionate fanatic
Tad passionate
about property insights. So, because you're so passionate, give me the why. Why is property insights so important in your mind?
So, we have the ability as an agent, we are in properties. We list them, we show them, we preview them, we go to broker opens. We are in houses. So, this platform allows us, and I will show you how to do it on your phone in a little bit. It allows us to just simply tell our platform, hey, I was just in 123 Main Street. Here are some of my comments about the house. So any house that we either go in or can and should go in, we can walk in, grab our phone, talk about the house while we're walking around it, save it, and what that does is actually populates in two places, and both of them are crazy. So it will immediately, the minute I hit save, be populated onto my personal website as a property I've toured. So it will very clearly show up, I'm the agent, I saw this property, here are my comments. And the second place it goes is directly to the Better Homes and Garden realestate.com site. I'm just going there to look for a house. It will populate on 123 Main Street's detail page at the national level. And for me as an agent that's seen the property, so with a direct connect to my website, national level, 123 Main Street, Wayne showed it. One click, they get from the national level directly to my personal website to look for a question, to look for houses, ask me a question, whatever.
So, a couple of things we got to be careful of then. We got to make sure our profile's right on our Zap, so our picture's there and everything is proper.
Correct.
But also, we got to make sure that we're being professional, optimistic about what we're writing and what we're saying. That if that's going to be available,
ethical, professional, honest. Anytime we're typing something about a property, that showing that verbiage will be connected to me. So we never talk about personally. Overpriced listing. This property's overpriced. No, I'm always talking, professional, honest, and ethical. So
staying on the positive side of things. Don't beat things up.
Absolutely. So, but I can do it with any property I want. Any listing in the MLS, any listing. Doesn't matter who it's listed by.
The question just came in.
Yep, doesn't matter what company it's listed by. Okay. So yeah, sorry about that. I sort of headed you off, but at least answered it. So any listing in the MLS, as long as it's active, I just simply say, hey, I've seen that property. Here are some of my thoughts. And the thoughts, big backyard, oversized garage, updated kitchen, walking to schools, full basement.
How long do we need to make it?
2 or 3 sentences.
So we're not talking about writing a book here.
Yeah,
we're
150 characters-ish, because the more you write, the more attractive it's going to look like to a consumer that sees it, and believe me, the consumers are seeing them. So, 150-ish characters, 2 or 3 sentences, again, just picking out some of the highlights about the house.
Okay, I want to bring back up a few months ago when we did Zap for listings. How do we leverage that for listings? We talked about, you brought to me property insights, and you said this is a huge opportunity from a listing perspective. And I remember you told the story of a young woman, month and a half, right?
Correct.
Month and a half in the business.
Month and a half in the business.
Now let's go back to technique and block timing, block time management. This individual, month and a half in the business, wanted to do business in a marketplace, but she was a little fearful. She was uncertain. She was a month and a half in the business. It was a high price point marketplace. So she understood the power of Zap. So she went out there periodically on purpose, and she previewed other people's listings in that market. And she wrote, every single time she wrote a property insight. What happened to her? Share with them what happened to her.
I mean, a week and a week and a half after she had left this Insight on a high-end property, she went to it, like Dan said, on purpose. I'm going to go preview this. It was actually a broker open, so it was kind of a bonus. I'm going to meet another agent, but yet see a nice house. A week and a half later, the phone rings. No question, the guy says, "Hey, this is," and says, "I need you to come list my house." In actually a higher price point than the property she saw, but the guy was very clear when she kind of had to ask, like, because
Why'd you call me?
how'd you find me? Just curious. I'm doing a bunch of market whatever, and the guy said, "Well, you're the local expert," and it ended there. During the conversation, it never came up. How long have you been doing this? What other $3 million properties you sold?
Yep.
It was such a buy-in for the guy to see that she was, portraying herself as a local expert, that he just bought right into it. So
And that's
I
the
love
power.
that story.
It's amazing. So not only should you do insights on your own properties and every time you're in a property to help juice your SEO and people finding you, but be on purpose. Go into the market that you want to start to dominate, and again, block out time once a week, twice a week, and say, I'm going to go grab lunch, and then I'm going to go in there, I'm going to preview 3 houses, do 3 insights, and then I'm going to go back to work. And you do that over and over again. Like I said, in 6 months, following what we're talking about, you could become such a dominant online presence in the market that you want to be the expert in.
Correct.
And it's all being done for you at that point forward.
Yep. I'm gonna just answer this question quick. Can you do your own listings? Yes. You should do your own listings. It will actually set out. I mean, if it's my listing, I'm going to beg all the agents in my office to come see it. These property insights at the national level are what Google considers unique content. So the unique content sets the listing you showed, my listing, if it's my listing, on Better Homes and Garden, it sets it apart from every other site. I don't care if it's Century 21, ERA, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor. It sets it apart because it's got different data, unique content, than just the bedrooms, the bath, the price, the picture, the description, everything else that all the sites have. So very powerful for your listings. It's a huge part of our listing presentation. So we talk about it. We talk about how valuable it is, for the client, potential client. And it really does work. So.
And you're going to show in Zap on the Move, you'll show how to use the mobile app to do that.
Yes, I will show you how to leave a property insight while you're standing in the house.
Okay, the third thing that we want to make sure that is happening all the time is Zap reviews. Give us the why, and then how do we go about making that happen?
So, very simple. If I get a review, I have to ask for the review from Zap. I will show you how to do that in a second. Very simple. But if I ask for a review and actually get it back from the client, which we have ways of making that happen. We'll talk about them in a second. But if I just ask for the review and get it back, that review populates onto my personal website as a star, and then actual review that someone can read. Hey, Wayne did whatever. And then it also populates at the national level, and it ranks agents based on reviews. So I can go to betterhomesandgarden.com, just looking for real estate. I can find a list of agents that work a zip code or a town in a number of ways. But when they find that list of who works in this zip code, it will actually rank them from top to bottom in alphabetical order, with the exception of anybody that has a review will be at the top of the list, and separated from the rest.
So when I have reviews, and someone comes and says, hey, I'm looking for an agent, on the site, there it is, find an agent. Orlando, find an agent. First ones are going to be the best reviews, the most and the best.
Yep. And it just sets them apart. Just like when we travel, I'm looking for something to eat tonight. I'm not taking guesses.
Right.
I'm looking for reviews. Well, guess what our consumers are starting to do? Not take guesses.
Exactly.
They're looking for people to say, why should I work with this person? And those people coming to the top of the list,
So how do we do that?
So I'll show you real quick. Another huge advantage is in Zap, I can actually ask anybody I want to review me. So if they are in my system, I can ask them to review me. So I can add, my professional friends. I can add a banker I just did a deal with. I could add make sure a current client that I'm showing or listing how they can leave me a review, and certainly, the best ones of all, the past clients. So if they're in my system, I can ask them to review me. So if I just simply, let me pull up, I am just going to pull up Andy. And Andy is a person in my database. He, again, he could be any relation to me whatsoever, past client. Very simple. The only thing I have to do to actually get in an email to him asking him to review me is this more button right here. So you'll see it, I'm at the very top to the right of the blue buttons. I hit that more button and I click ask for a review. And that's all I have to do. I can change the verbiage in the email. Ideally you reach out to Andy and kind of, show him, hey, I really need a favor from you. It'd mean a lot to me. I can change that verbiage. But in reality, all I have to do is scroll down and send this email in the lower right-hand corner. And then Angel would have sent Andy a nice little message. Hey, Andy, I appreciate you doing this for me. There's the box to write a review. And when
they just do it and click the button.
When Andy does it and submits it, it comes back onto Angel's website as a review. He's starred. They populate onto his website. Angel has the first one review on the at the national level on betterhomesandgarden.com. And I'm just going to show you real quick what that national level looks like. If I just get, this is me at the national level. I am not down to any agent. I'm not down to a company. Just to get to it quick, you'll see this in the dark green, find an agent. If I just click on that, and of course I could find an agent's name, but I'm just going to choose, let's just say I want Houston, Texas. And obviously I could do any town, I could do a zip code. And again, this is going to list them in alphabetical order with the exception of anybody with a review coming to the top of the list. And you will see the agents at the top of the list. And by the way, I was peeking at this. This list is crazy long. And I'm sorry, there is no way that a consumer we have is ever going to scroll down this list.
No way.
Because, quite frankly, what our consumers are telling us is if I get to the top, what they're actually going to do is stop when the reviews stop. So right here, they're stopping. And they're not going to go any further down that list. There are enough people telling them, hey, you should use one of these agents, but that's all I have to do. I could go out in the Houston zip code and go get 5 reviews right now from some past clients, and I would be at the top of that list. I could have the chance at really catching somebody's eye by being at the top of that list, and that is just by having them in your system. More, ask for review, send it, make sure I get it back, and now I'm populated at the. Completely separates the agents. In our consumers' minds, the agents just get separated.
So this is, I get passionate as you do about this. Those 3 things we just talked about. If we're doing the SEO playbook, if we're doing the insights, if we're doing the reviews, and we follow through, block time management, follow through. If we get all that done, we have just positioned ourselves to be the best. To be number one in the eyes of the market and the people that are looking to do business in that market.
Yeah, really separates it. So it's pretty cool.
So let's go to Zap on the Move, and let's look at that new mobile app. That's an awesome thing. And then show how simple it is to do that property insight.
So you're sitting there. I'll show you 2 things. I'm going to go just live on my phone, and you will see that light blue Zap app at the bottom in the middle. If you happen to have the old one, it should update and will update. If you don't want to wait for it to, for Apple to kind of trigger it to be, one of the little updates you need to do, you can always just delete the old one and just go and search Zap CRM for the new one. And this is the updated Zap app. So this is redesigned again for our agents in mind. Agents were beta testing it. We listened to them. They said, put this here. Can we do this on it? Can we do that on it? It's not doing everything we want yet, but just know that this format will allow us to continue to add pieces that will make it much easier for us agents to run our business on the run, which is kind of what we have to do. So, you can't hurt it. Get around there, play around on it, all your follow-ups. You can email, text, or call any person in your database, all from your mobile app. So there's a lot you can do. Of course, analyze Zap scores, things like that. But just to talk about leaving that property insight, in the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see a plus in the far upper left. If I hit that plus, this menu pops up, and I can, of course, do any one of those things. But talking about leaving a property insight, I'm actually going to click on New Showing. So the third one down, New Showing. And I just fill out this section. I find the property, I add a contact, which is either the person I showed it to, or if it's my listing or I previewed it, I can always just use myself as the contact. But the third thing down, Add Property Insight. This is where I am just talking about that listing. The bedrooms, the baths are on the first floor, the huge basement, huge backyard, walk to the park, whatever. And when I hit save in the upper right-hand corner, I'm literally walking around the house or I'm sitting in the car out front. I hit save and that immediately posts to my personal website, and I am at the national level on that addresses, that listings, home detail page at the national level. And I am walking around the house.
And people, agents always are saying, how do I get more business? How do I make this happen? The same way that someone jumps on Zillow or something, and there's an agent that paid to be over there.
Yep.
You're going to be there. You're going to be there.
Yeah, we are free, and I am showing up on a website that has just as much power as any brand, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, doesn't matter. Like those people, our sites get that much traffic, and we actually have the ability to show up as, hey, I paid a bunch of money to be on this listing page, and in reality, it's a minute or 2 minutes of your time.
You can come back to us, buddy. So, new app, more functionality coming.
Correct.
Built on a new platform so they can expand on it.
Yep.
Been listening to what people have been asking for. And all of that puts us again, one step at a time, one bite at a time, in a position to make things happen.
Correct.
So if you were to summarize for an agent how they should approach this, Zap has the CRM, we have the follow-up programs, we've done all of that. But from this perspective of getting yourself with your SEO and really getting your organic and optimized work done, how would you summarize this for an agent?
So it's just important to know that we are busy and we do have to sell houses and list houses to make money. So the pieces we talked about today won't ever be done tomorrow. So we can't ever say, I'll
get to it tomorrow.
I'll do that tomorrow, because that SEO playbook, I'm not going to sit down and do the whole thing. I need to start it today. I need to do one of those tasks today, check the box and go, I'm done, I'm going to go show houses. But yet, then I'm going to leave property insights while I'm at those houses. I may go preview houses on purpose. I would love to do that because I'm going to farm a market. But I'm also going to grab 3 people that I know, past clients, current clients, a banker, a professional friend,
a mortgage broker, somebody,
and and say, hey, would you take a second to review me? I have this awesome new platform. So in a matter of an hour, I can get one of my SEOs done, ask 2 people for a review and do 2 insights, or make a plan to go see 2 of them this afternoon so that I can actually preview the properties and leave the insights, so that I'm setting myself apart there as well.
So at the end of the day, follow through. But one bite at a time. We're not asking anybody to go, oh God, I got to get all this done. It wasn't done yesterday, it doesn't have to be done tomorrow. But if you take one bite at a time, just what we said, between reviews, property insights, and the SEO playbook, in less than 6 months, you can have it all done. And you'll be in the top 5 to 10%.
Crazy power, showings directly coming to you from the insights. The potential for contacts or clients to find you in those places.
It's amazing.
It's crazy. So.
Okay, guys, I want you to Get your calendar out, save the date. Our next Zap TV is March 21st, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll have some more information for you, another update, get you what's going on. Make sure you stay up to speed on Zap and make it work for you. So we're out of time. I want to thank you, Wayne,
Absolutely.
for everything.
Thank you.
I hope you
Appreciate
folks
it.
enjoyed it. For my co-host, Wayne Weaver, I'm Dan Elzer, and we'll see you next time on Zap TV.
Sounds good. Thank you.